So Caelan, it's been a few days since the Fiji result. Have you had time to think about it, or a few days later, what did you make of it?
Yeah, it was a frustrating one. We definitely didn't start how we wanted to. Obviously, conceded a penalty early, could have gone 3-0 down, and then thankfully got a let off there, but then they scored within a few minutes of that. So we were on the back foot early on, a slow start, which is not what we wanted at all. I think probably the most pleasing thing from the game, there was frustrations throughout, but the way we stuck on task, got the result, and were able to stay sort of next moment focused. We were obviously pretty dominant, quite a bit of possession in their 22, lots of mauls that were going forward, but we didn't convert. So frustrating from that point of view, but the fact we stuck on task and kept going was pleasing.
It's interesting listening to Andy Farrell. He was very disappointed in his post-match comments. Were you guys as disappointed as him? It seems that the standards are just so high now.
Yeah, it was flat in the changing room after. Obviously a massive occasion for the three lads getting their first caps, and we had talked during the week about making it a special day for them, not just with the result but the way we wanted to play, and also improving on the performance, especially in terms of our attack from the South Africa game. So it was flat in terms of not having achieved those. Still massively special for the lads, and I think they still cherished it, although it wasn't quite the performance we were after. Yeah,
you mentioned the three lads getting their debuts, big moments for them. You obviously had that once before in your career. What was it like with the lads in the changing room?
Class. Such a special week. The few days leading up to it, in the Shelburne, walking out onto the bus with all the fans there, that's a vivid memory for me. The nerves in the changing room before, but the kind of feeling of togetherness and everyone sort of getting around you and making you feel part of it, and then getting your cap after, the song you have to do, a bit of nerves there as well, but yeah, special day, and it was a good one for the lads.
Definitely. If we move on to this weekend, last test of the year, Australia, different team I know against Italy, but as a squad they'll be very disappointed and they'll want to respond, won't they?
Definitely. They've obviously had three very close games. I think it was 16-15 they beat Scotland, and then 2 1-point defeats over the last couple of weeks. Probably a slightly weaker team they put out against Italy. Still a lot of quality there, but yeah, they're going to be coming. Looking to obviously finish their season on a high, and get a win in Dublin. And we'll be equally looking to put in a performance, the best out of the 3 games. I don't think we've probably shown what we can do yet. It was pretty good against South Africa, a little bit worse against Fiji, but we really want to complete the performance now on Saturday.
Wee bit extra special for you, you've never played against Australia as well?
Yeah, looking forward to that. Obviously I've watched the Rugby Championship for years and I've seen what they're capable of, even this year beating the likes of South Africa and Argentina. They've got quality throughout their team. Some of the back rows, probably in particular, the likes of Hooper, who've been quality players for years, so hopefully looking forward to coming up against them.
Yeah, you mentioned him there, that was my next question. Michael Hooper, back in with Australia, quality player, breakdown, probably one of the best in the world, let's just say. Big statement, probably is. So you're going to have to be on your guard there.
Definitely. The breakdown's going to be a big battle. Like you said, Hooper, but they've also got the likes of Valentini and some other threats throughout their pack and backline. It's going to be a key area to get right.
You yourself, you obviously made your debut against Scotland a number of years ago for Ireland. How do you feel you've developed over the last couple of years with Ireland?
I think I've probably grown in confidence anyway. I feel more comfortable at this level. There's still so many areas and so much more room for improvement. I think I can keep getting better. I think I have evolved thanks to the coaches both here and in Leinster. Defence and attack, and still growing areas, but enjoying the progress.
Growing, as you say, and playing some good rugby. Having a look at the stats there, 22 caps. Majority, just over 50% starting at 8, and then the other at 6, a couple off the bench or whatever. How does that differ for you going into a game playing 8 or 6?
Not too much. I've kind of, whatever I'm starting, I'll be covering that position as well, usually the other position. So if I'm starting 6, I'll also cover 8 if there's whatever substitution or whatever. So I'm always going over both during the week, so it doesn't change too much. 8 probably is my preference, but I think whoever I'm playing with, there's the way we do it, there's kind of a shared workload across the back rows, so it doesn't make too much of a difference.
And as you say, 8 is your preference. Why is that, just out of interest?
it probably puts me in a slightly better position for carries. Carrying is probably my favourite part of the game, and it's a little bit easier to get into the game sometimes from 8, I find, personally.
And just, you won a triple crown with Ireland in the Six Nations. What do you determine success or measure success as in your Ireland career going forward?
Medals and trophies, but also individually progressing as a player, trying to get the most out of myself. The enjoyment factor is a big one as well. You always hear retired players saying they would have liked to enjoy it more in their younger years, or just to cherish it. And so, yeah, enjoyment's a big one, but also progressing, reaching my potential, basically becoming as best a player as I can.
Yeah, it's interesting you said, and obviously good game, really good game against South Africa, and plenty of good games beforehand. But like you yourself, how much potential is there in there, do you feel?
I think there's loads more room for improvement. I think the coaches can see that, and I've got a good plan in place around trying to achieve that and work on different aspects of my game week to week and continue to grow and evolve.
With the World Cup down the line, just under 12 months, I know everyone says one game at a time. Every person or player I speak to seems to say that. But is it in the back of your mind? Do you think that's a good thing as well?
Yeah, I think it's the North Star. We haven't been afraid to talk about it from a couple of years out. It's definitely a massive goal, and it's sort of the big goal. But at the same time, you've got to kind of have the balance between focusing week to week, knowing where you want to get better, how you're going to get better, but it's all leading to that at the same time.
Last couple for me. A friend in yours of the weekend, Joey Carbery, obviously came off the pitch, concussion. You've had plenty of that in your career. Can rugby do more, or is it just so many TV cameras now, it's more of a topic of conversation? What do you think yourself? I
think it's progressed a lot, definitely over the last decade, but even since my first one 2 or 3 years ago, the rehab and the way they target the return to play has evolved quite a bit. It's still obviously a lot more to know and to learn, and it's a quickly evolving area, but I think it's moving in the right direction, definitely.
And finally from me, what's the biggest thing you want to see against Australia to finish the year on a high for Ireland?
A complete performance, getting back to our best attacking ways, and then also defensively, hunger and energy and the want to get the ball back as fast as possible.
Brilliant, thanks so much for your time.
Cheers, thank you.